Welcome to Comfort Havoc number 2. Before I get started on any of the other videos that I announced that I was going to do, I wanted to do this video called Point of View. Alright, so earlier today, one of my siblings and I will leave her name off for the sake of leaving names off. We had this discussion and how she said that I should be grateful that I am alive and breathing. But she's only looking at it from her point of view. She's not looking at it from how bad my life has been. She's not looking at it from my point of view. She's only looking at how my life has benefited her versus my life benefiting myself. And sometimes, and I want to say this because I get this way too, and unlike everyone else, I own my shit. Sometimes I don't want to hear the shit. I don't want to say the shit, but sometimes shit needs to be said. Point of view is very important. Because when you only see things from your point of view, you miss the whole picture. Which she's still missing the whole picture. Her exact words were, be blessed, not stressed. Well, how can you be blessed if the people you think are your blessings are the ones causing you your stressings? But she didn't see it from that point of view. Now, I'm not angry that she's not listening or hearing what I'm saying. I'm angry that she's only seeing what benefits her. She gave me the long song and dance, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to put y'all through that. But here's the thing. There's a difference between being alive and actually living. Alright? I'm alive. I'm not actually living. No one's thinking about the sacrifices that I have made for them outside of how well it benefited me to be there to take care of kids that my dick didn't create versus them not having babies with men who are actually men instead of boys with a big dick and a good lick. Alright? There's a difference between being alive and actually living. See, when you're actually living and you're living your life and you're doing everything you want to do, sorry about that, my razor's cleaning. When you're living your life for you versus living your life to help others versus living your life to serve your country versus living your life to serve other people versus living your life to save people, you're not really living. You're alive. You're an entity that happens to be a factor in the world itself. But if you're not benefiting from helping others, which most people don't help others to benefit themselves, but at the same time, if benefiting and helping other people hurts you, then you're hurting you. And you don't have the right words to express that when people don't want to hear or listen to what you're saying. So I'm the second of 7 children. And one of the siblings that I spoke to was the one completely under me. And she still doesn't get it. We've had this conversation like 1,000 times. And you can talk until you're blue in the face. But if no one's listening to what you're saying, or no one's hearing or seeing from where you have been affected by this shit, because they, one, don't give a damn, even though they claim that they do. If you honestly give a damn about how your life's affecting other people, especially if you know that they're bitching and complaining about it, but you still keep doing the same shit, saying the same shit, then you're not helping the situation. You're part of the problem that's causing the situation. My entire siblings have been a part of the reason that I have had a horrible ass life. And then they don't care. And when you come from a family that would much rather see you suffer than succeed, but don't want to own that fact, because her exact words was, we love you, we don't want to see you suffer. Really? Then if you really did, none of the shit I've gone through would have ever fucking happened in the first place. Or you would actually take your head out your ass and see it from my point of view of how I had to take care of your asses, how I had to change your diapers, how I had to turn around after you're old enough to have your own kids, and I'm doing for them what I did for you instead of living for me. I had hopes and dreams. But I had to put them on hold because instead of having babies with men, they had babies with boys pretending to be men who still to this day won't grow the fuck up and do the fucking job, and the women won't woman up and tell these motherfuckers, hey look, my brother has sacrificed his entire fucking life and has never got the chance to do anything with his life because of us. The least we can do is lack off some of that pressure by not making him have to do things that he should have never had to do in the first place. Sadly, that sibling did not see any of the things that I was trying to express. Because I'm a person, when I don't feel like my point has been made, I tend to raise my voice. Alright? It's not intentional. It's more like a reflex. But you can't keep saying the same shit to the same people if they just don't want to hear it. Here's the thing about being alive and living. When you are alive, that means you breathe, you eat, you piss, you poop, you have sex, you do everything that living people do, only when you get the opportunity to do it. When you're living, and I mean when you're living the life you want, the life you planned out since you were a child, and you're doing all the fun shit that you watch everybody else do because while they're out there doing that, you're stuck watching their children, you are not alive to live for that. You are alive so that you can go out and do what everyone else is doing as well. But again, if you are alive and serving everyone else and not serving yourself, and it makes it easier or convenient for them, that's all they care about. That was the point that I was trying to establish. However, that specific sibling, who we've had this conversation like 90 fucking times, doesn't want to see it that way. She wants to say, be blessed, not stressed. But you can't see that you're part of the reason why I'm stressed. You don't see that shit. You don't want to see that shit. And more importantly, you don't want to own that shit. Now, I don't ask my siblings for shit. I don't ask them for money. I don't ask them for help. Even when I need it the most, I will get off my ass and find a way. I will not ask them to bend over backwards for me. Where they, on the other hand, have never asked me. They just decided this is what you're going to do. But that's called being alive, so they say. It's not living. You know, when you're living, you're all on equal playing fields. You know, you're with your siblings doing the same shit that they're doing. You're going out. You're having a good time. You get to be with your friends. You're not at home taking care of their children the same way you took care of them. So that's called being alive. Living is where, if I want to go bungee jumping tomorrow versus babysitting, I can go bungee jumping tomorrow because you're going to handle your responsibility, which most of my siblings, for the most part, have never really done. They started doing it because some of them are listening, and I thank y'all that are actually listening. But for y'all who keep saying the same old bullshit, be grateful you're alive and breathing, but I'm not really alive. I'm not living. I'm going to be alive because I'm breathing and because the good Lord won't take me. But I'm not living. There is a difference between being alive and living. And it would behoove all of you to know that. If you're going through the same shit I've gone through for as long as I've been alive, where I've had to put my life on hold, babysit siblings, give them money, have them smile on my face and say, fuck you, we're not paying you back, and giggle about that shit, and all the other kind of things that go with it, you know, that's not living. That's being alive. And there is a big difference between living your life and being alive. We got into the discussion about you're not homeless. How you figure? This roof over my head, I didn't pay for. I'm not paying for. So I am homeless. Just not on the literal sense, but I am homeless. Don't get it twisted. You're paying your rent. You have your stuff. My car's paid for. It's the only thing I got. I can go live in my car. I'll still be homeless. No. But I could have had everything if I didn't do what was right for the family versus what was right for me. Which is another point of view that I wasn't allowed to make, because when people are walking away from you when you're talking to them, that's a sure sign of, one, they don't give a fuck. Two, they have no manners or respect for you, and that's just damn rude. And no matter how high I raise my voice to get your attention, if you don't want to hear it, then you should be honest, man or a woman, enough to say, look, I don't want to hear this shit. That's your fault. Nobody told you. Yes, they did. Before you feed me that bullshit that nobody told me, there is someone who told me, which is why I fucking have sucked in life all life, while y'all have all lived on the fucking throne. So don't bullshit the bullshit. The truth of the fucking matter is, you are where you are on the backs of me and our older sibling. You don't have to admit it, you don't have to like it, but it is the truth, which is another reason why people don't like me, because I'm a truth teller. I didn't bend over backwards and say, hey Ma, we got 5 kids under me. Can I grow up and babysit them and raise their kids too? Who the fuck does that? No one. No one does that. No one wants to throw their life away so that their siblings can live and live large in front of them and fly off the eagle and do whatever the hell they want, have babies and drop them off at your doorstep. I didn't ask for any of that shit. But again, no one wants to see that. No one wants to hear me say that. No one wants to admit that that's what you did. And it's be blessed, not stressed. If you're part of what's making me stressed, how dare you say that I should be grateful that I am alive when I'm not living the life that I planned since I was fucking in the 4th grade? I had hopes and dreams of becoming a state trooper. Found out there was a height requirement. So then I decided I could be a homicide cop. I can move to Florida. I can move to California. I can move to New York. I can get a job doing something that I want to do versus cleaning toilets and taking care of babies that my dick didn't create, and having my siblings much rather see me suffer than succeed and say, oh, well, we love you and we're not going to take the burden off of you. We're just going to keep doing the same dumbass shit that we've been doing, and you're just going to have to deal with it and accept it. Why? But yet, I'm supposed to be blessed, but I'm not living. I'm alive, grateful to be alive. I'm healthy, had a hip replacement, needed it because if I couldn't, I would never walk again and no one would take care of me anyway. I have to take care of myself, hella high water. But I'm supposed to be blessed, but I'm under all this stress that all of you have caused. Some of you have openly acknowledged me and said, we're sorry, we thank you for all you've done. We're going to try to limit the burden on you. But most of you have not. And you still think that I'm in the wrong for being angry that 40 some odd years of my life has gone past, and not only have I taken care of you, but I've had to take care of your children too, and I get be blessed, not stressed. Did y'all miss that part about 40 years of my life has gone by, and I've had to take care of you and your children too? So, I'm alive, but I damn sure ain't living. And I wanted to get that off my chest. So, family, if you actually get to see this video, maybe you ought to take your heads out your asses and see how it feels when you're the 2 older siblings and you don't get to do what you want with your life because you have to take care of kids that your dick or your vagina didn't make, because your siblings, instead of learning from the first couple of incidences to stop, they just keep going and going and going and going, which gives you no room to go get your family started, which gives you no room to go get your career started, which gives you no room to do what you want to do with your life because you're too busy taking care of everybody else's life, and the whole time you're taking care of their life, they're smiling in your face, turning the knife in your back, and giving you 2 fingers at the same damn time. And then when you try to have a discussion about it, it's, you should be grateful that you are blessed and you are alive and not stressed. Y'all are the stress. You've been the stress for 40 some odd years of my life because you keep doing the same bullshit over and over and over again, but you don't want to own it. You don't want to admit it. You don't want to change it. But yet the second I start bitching about it, it's, well, nobody told you. Yes, and y'all know who that person was. They did. When they should have been telling you, stop. Grow up. Stop making the same fucking mistakes. Stop doing the same dumbass shit. Stop picking the same type of dumbass dudes. But no, they don't do that. And women being smarter than men scientifically has been proven, which I just scientifically proven that only works in some families to some degrees, because not in mine and not on both sides. Because both sides I've had some issues with girls and babies that are, sadly to say, not really wanted. They're wanted, but not by the person that they had them with, so to speak. And before you go making a lifetime commitment with a person and giving them a baby, you might want to know how they feel about that shit. Because maybe they want a baby, they just don't want it with you. Which is a logical step, And I'm going to say this before I go. I don't give a damn who you are. I don't give a fuck if this hurts your feelings. Honesty is always best. Hella high water. It is better to be honest and live with that pain than to live a lie and have the truth come out 15, 20, 60 fucking years later. Because there's so many things that you could do if you just do the right damn thing versus doing what the fuck you want. And in my family, doing what the fuck they want is why I didn't get a chance to actually live my life. And then everybody's mad because I point that shit out. Now, I have the right to point that shit out because y'all had the right to live just like I have the right to live. And nothing in my book says that I have to be fully committed to taking care of my siblings for fucking the majority of my life from ages 8 to 28 and then turn around from ages 28 to 38 taking care of kids, and shit that my dick didn't create. But I did that shit. Not a thank you, not a I'm sorry, not a we'll do better. I get today specifically, be blessed, not stress. But I guess everything I just said wasn't a bunch of stress. Thank you for the 15 minutes of your life that you can't get back.